My name is Ceri. I'm co-founder of House of Light Retreat Centre here in South Spain. I'd like to share today's class with you in response to the possible challenges presented by COVID-19. One take on the situation is that we've been devastating the lungs of the planet through deforestation for so long now that nature has issued us with a serious warning in the form of a virus that threatens our own lungs. Yoga presents the opportunity for us to start working on a micro level within our own inner environment in the hope that this reflects and contributes to a healing on a greater global scale. So today's class will have two dimensions. On a physical level, the focus is to boost the immune system and strengthen the lungs. And on a mental and emotional level, the intention is to supercharge our sense of gratitude and connection. For today's practice, you will need a block, a rolled up blanket, a belt, your presence and your breath. Enjoy. We'll start today's practice in a restorative pose, placing the block to the top of the mat and the rolled up blanket just a few inches beneath the base of the block. The idea will be to bring the rolled up blanket across the back at the base of the shoulder blades. So not bringing it too far down towards the lumbar spine and not placing it too close to the neck above the shoulder blades. The intention being to bring a gentle curve into the thoracic spine, a part of the spine that is generally less mobile, and also encouraging an opening in the heart space and the lungs. So create a small trough in which to place the extended arms and the shoulders, and resting the back of the head on the block. Extend the legs as if you're in Shavasana, arms out to the side, and inviting the eyes to close. The action of opening the lungs makes this a fantastic pose for any breathing disorders, any chest infections, possibly asthma. So bring your awareness to your lungs, start to breathe deeply, feeling the lungs expand side to side, top to bottom, front to back with each inhalation, and feeling the lungs soften and deflate with each exhalation. Take a moment to really settle into the body, allowing the breath to anchor you firmly and safely into the present moment. The irony of the present situation is that although we're being advised to physically distance ourselves from others, it also presents a unique opportunity for reconnection. Reconnection with our deeper selves, an opportunity amongst the external chaos to retreat into our own inner sanctuary of stillness and ease and peace. An opportunity to reconnect with those loved ones that we find ourselves quarantined with. An opportunity to reconnect to the ever-present universal vibration of love that connects all of humanity at all times. The situation also possibly presents us with the time and space to bathe in deep gratitude for all that is good in our lives that we possibly took for granted beforehand. One at a time, bending the knees, placing the soles of the feet on the mat, and then easing the knees to the right and pressing yourself up to a seated position. Removing the blanket and placing it off the mat, and taking your block and placing it to the front left corner of the mat. Finding a cross-legged seated position, placing the hands onto the thighs, allowing the spine to grow tall, floating the front ribs up and away from the pelvis, melting the shoulders down away from the ears, connecting with the breath, allowing the belly to be soft and fill like a balloon on the inhalation, and drawing navel to spine on the exhalation. As you inhale, gently lift the chin without crunching into the back of the neck, and as you exhale, lower chin to chest. Inhale to gaze up, and exhale, looking down towards your lap. Following the rhythm of your own breath, one more time. Inhale to look skyward. Exhale, bringing chin to chest and pausing here. Removing the hands from the knees, interlacing the fingers and placing them on the back of the head. Now allowing the arms to hang heavy. Fill, stretch and expand the back of the neck with the breath. And then lift this point up towards the sky. On the next inhalation, sliding the fingers down to the base of the skull, lifting the chin and resting the weight of the skull against the little fingers. Inhale to lift the elbows up towards the sky. And to avoid any excess curve in the lower back, in the lumbar spine, knitting the front ribs together, simultaneously drawing them in towards the spine and up away from the hips. Now maintaining this firmness in the belly and stability in the lower back, gently lower the chin a little so you can release the fingers. Maintaining the curve in the upper back, place tented fingertips on the mat behind you. Placing an imaginary beach ball on the ground behind you and lying the body back over this ball. Squeezing the sides of it with your inner elbows. Press into the fingertips and experience the rebounding effect of lift as your heart floats skyward. Now moving the imaginary beach ball into your lap and starting to lean forwards, placing the fingertips on the ground in front of the knees and resting your heart on top of the ball. Elbows yearn for the edges of the mat, and as you do so, fill the space that you've created at the back of your heart with the breath. Now pressing into the fingertips and straightening the arms to elongate the spine. Float the crown forwards and upwards. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. Planting both palms on the mat, connecting to all four corners of each palm and a light touch of the fingertips. Use the next exhalation to explore any space that may have presented itself for you to fold forwards into. Moving slowly and mindfully, listening to the body, ensuring that your practice is nourishing and nurturing. On the next inhalation, walk the hands to the right, hovering the heart over the right knee and the belly over the right thigh. Keep the left sit bone firmly plugged down towards the ground. On the next exhalation, reach the right arm beside the body towards the back of your mat and plant tented fingertips behind your tailbone on the ground. Inhale to softly drag the left fingertips towards the right knee until the left palm finds the right knee. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to soften the belly and twist, looking back over the right shoulder. Keep both shoulders soft and moving down away from the ears. And make your next exhalation your deepest twist. Inhale to come through centre, lifting both arms overhead. And exhale, reconnecting both palms to the mat in front of you. Taking 1 or 2 cycles of breath, once again, to explore any space that may reveal itself to you. Inhale, walking the hands to the left, hovering the heart over the left knee and the belly over the left thigh. And on an exhalation, really reaching the left arm beside the body towards the back of the room, planting tented fingertips behind your tailbone. Inhale, sweeping your right fingertips towards the left knee until they make contact. Using the mantra for all twists, inhale to lift and lengthen, creating space in the side body, and exhale to deepen the twist. Soften the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to move independently from the hips to deepen the twist, and acknowledging that all twists are good for general gut health, and that in itself being essential for a fully functioning immune system. As you inhale, come through centre, lifting both arms in the air. And then exhale, start to ease the chest back a little, extending both arms forwards, flaring the fingers, and then bring tiptoes to the ground, keeping the knees bent. Option to pause here, otherwise second option, floating the feet away from the mat so the shins are parallel to the ground. Inhale to lift the heart, exhale to sink the shoulders. Third option, starting to pedal the legs. Firing up the belly, engaging the core, feeling that warmth ignite. The next time your right leg is bent, bringing the right hand to the back of the right thigh, flexing both feet, then reaching across with the left hand to take hold of the little toe side of the right foot. Exhale to reach the right arm towards the back of the room, allowing your gaze to follow the right thumb, and then with control lowering the left leg down to the mat. Inhale, start pressing through the right heel, straightening the right leg as much as is possible, and then using the weight of that right leg to lever your spine into a more upright position. Slow, steady cycles of breath. And on an exhalation, softening the right knee, sweeping the right arm forwards, releasing the grip on the little toe side of the foot and returning to boat pose. Option to pedal the legs. The next time the left leg is bent and the right leg straight, pausing here, bringing the left hand to the back of the left thigh, flexing both feet. Reach across with the right hand and take hold of the little toe side of the left foot. Just carefully placing the right leg onto the mat, keeping the foot flexed. Exhale to reach back with the left arm, following with the gaze towards the left thumb. Press firmly into the heel of the left foot, straightening the left leg as much as you can, and then use the weight of the left leg to pivot and lever yourself into a more tall and upright position. On an exhalation, soften the left knee, sweep the left arm forwards, return to half boat pose, and then an option to inhale the arms up and the legs straight. Exhale, plant the palms on the mat behind you, cross the legs in front of the body, and exhale to roll forwards, finding all fours. Tabletop position. From here, place the right hand into the centre of the mat beneath your face, and inhale the left arm up towards the sky. As you exhale, thread the left arm underneath your body, behind the right wrist, and gently tap the back of the left shoulder down to the mat. Press firmly into the right palm to inhale and re-extend the left fingertips up. Exhale to thread the needle, placing the left shoulder to the mat. Inhale to re-extend, opening your wings out to the side. And exhale to return the left shoulder to the mat. Option to pause here in this gentle twist. If you would like to take it a little further, hooking the toes underneath and keeping the toes in contact with the mat, slide the right heel towards the back of the room, straightening the right leg. Option 3 is to inhale the right fingertips up towards the sky, and then keeping the arms straight, start to lower the arm in an anti-clockwise direction so it falls just out of your field of vision. If the arm was lifted, returning the palm just in front of the face on the mat. If the leg was straightened, returning the knee to the mat. Pressing into the right palm to straighten the arm, and then changing hands, so placing the left palm directly beneath your face in the centre of the mat. Inhale to reach the right fingertips up. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm moves under the body, behind the left wrist, and you gently tap the back of the right shoulder to the mat. Press into the left palm to inhale and float the right fingertips skyward. Exhale, thread the needle. Gentle contact between the right shoulder and the mat. Inhale to re-extend, 1/3 and final time. Exhale, threading the arm through, placing the right shoulder to the mat. Option to pause here. Second option, tucking the toes, sliding the left heel towards the back of the room, straightening the leg. Third and final option, inhale the left fingertips up towards the sky, keeping the arm straight, allowing that arm to tick-tock just slightly behind the body, back of the hand moving towards the ground. If the arm was lifted, replacing the left palm in front of the face. If the leg was extended, lowering the knee to the mat and pressing into the left palm, returning to tabletop position. Taking one round of cow belly breath, so on an inhalation, lowering the belly, lifting the tailbone, lifting the chin, sliding the shoulders down towards the hips, away from the ears, and then returning to a neutral spine. All 10 toes are hooked. Keep the heels lifted and the knees deeply bent as you exhale and send the hips up and back towards the wall behind you, finding a bent-legged version of downward facing dog. Perhaps the stomach meets the fronts of the thighs or comes somewhere near. Starting to pedal the legs, allow the hips to sway from side to side. And then find stillness in your variation of downward facing dog. This might mean that the heels are still lifted and the knees are still bent if you find discomfort in the lower back or the hamstrings, and a reminder to yourself that this isn't always an option in any forward fold or any time that you visit downward facing dog in your practice. Now, energetically shifting the weight into your left palm, peel the right hand away from the mat and reach back towards the left leg, making contact wherever is possible for you. Might be the back of the thigh, the back of the calf, or possibly cupping the left heel. Turning to look underneath the left armpit. Then releasing the left leg, replacing the right palm to the mat, shifting the energy and the weight into the right palm and peeling the left hand away from the ground, reaching back for the right leg, making contact wherever is available for you today. Twisting to look underneath the right armpit. acknowledging that any variation of downward facing dog circulates white blood cells around the body, so helping to fight infection. Releasing the grip and returning the left hand to the mat. As you inhale, glide forward, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, finding high plank. The body's in a straight line from heels all the way through to the crown of the head. Shoulders are soft, collarbone is open. Press back through the heels, lift the navel towards the spine, and then press the skin on the back of the neck up towards the sky to protect the shoulders. As you exhale, lower yourself down to the ground, either with knees down or without. Untucking the toes. Now bringing the elbows directly under the shoulders. Forearms are parallel, fingers flared. Keep the legs active by pointing the toes and firmly pressing the pubic bone down into the mat. Press evenly into the elbows, smiling open the collarbones, shining the heart forwards. Slow, even cycles of breath. In Sphinx pose. Now sliding the elbows back towards the hips so you can place the hands under the shoulders, resting the forehead for a moment on the mat. And then inhale, pressing into the palms. Keep squeezing the elbows in towards the ribs as you lift into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Melt the shoulders down away from the ears. And on the exhalation, turn to look over your right shoulder towards your right heel. Inhale through center. Exhale to release down. Inhale, pressing back up into Cobra. Exhale to turn to look over the left shoulder towards the left heel. Inhale, finding center. Exhale, release down. Inhale, plant your elbows once again directly under the shoulders, returning to Sphinx pose. And finding a way to transition safely, protecting the lower back, up into a variation of plank pose in 3 stages. The first stage is very subtle movement that might not be visible to anybody else, but pressing into the elbows, see if you can peel a section of your belly away from the mat. Now pressing more firmly into the palms of the hands, soften the shoulders and open the heart space. Finally, tucking all 10 toes and engaging the legs by pressing back through the heels to float the knees. Firm the belly to protect the lower back as you inhale to float the hips. Finding a variation of plank pose. Now walking the feet towards the elbows, come into dolphin. And just check that your shoulders are engaged by seeing if you can move your head freely. If you find that you're resting on the crown of your head, you've probably collapsed a little in the shoulders and are dumping into the shoulder girdle. So press into the elbows, engage the shoulders, and check that your head can move freely. Now, one at a time, placing your hands where your elbows were, finding downward facing dog. Inhale as you lift the heels high, look to the thumbs. Exhale to soften the knees and walk the feet forwards to meet the hands. Flipping the palms towards the sky, softening the knees and lying the stomach onto the thighs. Allow the head to hang heavy. The weight of the head creating traction down the whole length of the spine. Feeling any anxiety or tension or negativity trickling down past each vertebra and exiting the body through the crown of the head. Softening the knees a little more deeply, starting to roll the spine to come to stand. Bringing the head up last. And if you're not already there, stepping to the front of your mat. Finding Tadasana, so big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Bring the hands to the hips and manually tilt the pelvic girdle to point the tailbone straight down, simultaneously firming the belly. Release the arms so the palms face forwards and soften the shoulders by inhaling them forwards and up, exhaling them back and down. One more time. Reconnect with the breath. Easy rise and gentle fall of the breath. On the next inhalation, reach the arms sideways and up, palms meet. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forwards, often option to soften the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, reach forwards through the crown. Exhale, big right step back, lower the back knee and untuck the toes. Inhale to reach sideways and up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, plant the palms either side of the front foot. Tucking the back toe, float the back knee. Inhale, stepping to high plank. Exhale, lowering the knees. Continue to exhale, lowering the belly and the chest. Elbows hug the ribs. Hands move forwards under the shoulders. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana, softening the shoulders back and down. Exhale, release to the mat. Hands move beside the rib cage. Inhale, tabletop. Tucking all 10 toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to slowly and mindfully float the right heel to the sky, keeping the legs straight and the hips square to the mat. Exhale, step the right foot forwards between the hands, lower the back knee and untuck the toes. Inhale, reach sideways and up, firm the belly. Exhale, hands to the mat, tuck the back toe, float the knee, and then exhale to step forwards, joining the ankles. Exhale, active forwards fold, head beneath the heart. Inhale, reach sideways and up, palms meet. Exhale, folding straight back down for the left side. Inhale, halfway lift, bodies in a number 7 shape. Exhale, big left step back, lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach sideways and up, tucking the tailbone under. Exhale, palms to the mat, tuck the back toe, float the knee. Inhale, step to high plank. Exhale, knees down. Continue to exhale, lowering the body in a straight line down to the mat. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, Cobra. Elbows move back and down. Exhale, release down. Hands move beside the rib cage. Inhale, tabletop. Tucking all 10 toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're on the left side, so inhale to float the left leg to the sky, aiming for length rather than height, foot flexed. Exhale, step the left foot forwards, lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach sideways and up, palms meet. Exhale, fingertips to the mat, tucking the back toe, floating the knee. Inhale, joining the ankles, halfway lift. Exhale, forwards fold, stomach to the thighs. Inhale, press into the feet, follow the arms up to stand, hands in prayer. Exhale, bringing them in front of the heart. Option to close the eyes or just keep the gaze down past the fingertips towards the ground. Feeling the heart beating inside the chest. Feeling your breath against your fingertips. Feeling the whole weight of your body against all 4 corners of the feet. All signs that you are alive, you are present, you are truly blessed. Releasing the arms down to the sides. On the next inhalation, bend the knees deeply, skim the fingertips to the ground and then reach forwards and up. As you exhale, sink the hips a little deeper and plug the shoulders back into their sockets. Inhale, bring in the hands in prayer in front of the heart. And as you exhale, take a twist to the right, bringing the left elbow to the outside edge of the right knee. Press the palms together firmly and energetically move your right knee and your right hip forwards, as there's often a temptation for the hips to move with the shoulders, taking this side of the body towards the back of the room. Keep breathing, using your breath as a gauge. If you're holding your breath or your breath is laboured, ease out of the pose or rest. Inhale to come through centre. Exhale, taking a twist to the left, bringing the right elbow to the outside edge of the left knee, making a vertical pillar out of the forearms. Pressing firmly and evenly into the palms and energetically moving the left kneecap and left hip forwards. Inhale to reach forwards with the arms, finding Utkatasana. Exhale, pressing the arms beside the body to stand. One deep cycle of breath, face the palms forwards. On the next inhalation, reach the arms sideways and up, palms meet. Exhale, swan dive forwards, folding over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, planting both palms to the mat and step to high plank. Taking one deep cycle of breath here, lift the navel to the spine, broad and stable in the shoulders. And exhale, knees down, continue to exhale, lower the belly and the chest. Hands move under the shoulders. Inhale, cobra, softening the shoulders back and down. Exhale, release to the mat. Hands move beside the ribs. Inhale, tabletop, tucking all 10 toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. One deep cycle of breath here. Then stepping the feet together so the inner ankles touch. Inhale to float the right leg towards the sky, this time stacking right hip on top of left. You might find you collapse a little into the left shoulder, so a puff of air under the left armpit evens out the shoulders, squaring them to the short edge of the mat. Bending the lifted leg, imagining that you could tap yourself on the left shoulder with the right toe. Inhale to re-extend the lifted leg and exhale to step it forwards between the hands. Spinning the back heel down and checking for a heel to instep alignment front to back. Taking your belt in your left hand and leading with that hand forwards, up and back, opening out into Warrior Two. Exhale to sink a little deeper, but ensuring that your front knee doesn't extend forwards over your ankle. If this is happening, you might want to tick-tock the back foot back a little to give yourself some more space. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears and track the front knee towards the little toe side of the front foot, checking that you can see the instep of your right foot if you glance down. Holding the belt next to the buckle and allowing the belt, the tail of the belt, to fall behind you. Then inhale to flip the front palm. Exhale to lower the back hand, lift the front and reverse the warrior. Inhale, returning to Warrior Two. Exhale, lower the right knee to the right elbow to the right knee. Making a hook out of the right fingers. Now pivot on the right elbow and sweep those hooked fingers towards the right hip. Lower the back of the left hand towards your lower back and see if you can make a bind, either using the belt or, if there's an opportunity, connecting the fingers. And then roll the left shoulder backwards a few times in its socket, opening the heart space, rolling and rotating the belly and the chest towards the long edge of your mat. and mindfully tucking the right hip underneath the body. Keep the breath moving slowly and steadily. Then release the bind. Inhale, returning to warrior two. Exhale, pivoting onto the ball of the back foot and windmilling both arms forwards, placing the belt just off to the right hand side of your mat, planting both palms either side of the right foot. Inhale, shooting that right leg up and back, finding one-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest under the body. Inhale, re-extend the right leg. And exhale, gliding forwards into one-legged plank. Now gripping the back of your left heel with your right big toe and index toe, then rolling to the little toe edge of your left foot and the inside edge of your right foot. Inhale the right hand up to the sky, using the obliques to lift the hips a little higher. Exhale, return the right palm to the mat, roll back onto the ball of the foot and unstack the feet, finding yourself in high plank. Inhale, both knees to the mat, untuck the toes, and exhale, sitting back into child's pose. Resting the forehead or a cheek to the ground, either keeping the arms extended in front or bringing them beside the body with the palms facing up. Taking a moment to acknowledge that all the organs in the body act like sponges, absorbing not only food, water and air, but also emotions. Returning to the concept that our inner environment reflects our experience of life on a grander scale, it's interesting to then discover that all these organs are interconnected by a network of nerves and deep tissue known as fascia, just as the universal vibration of love interconnects all of humanity. So by stretching our bodies within our practice and stimulating these nerves, we not only detoxify the body by wringing it out, but also strengthen the connections, ultimately strengthening our connections off the mat to humanity as a whole. If the arms are beside the body, now re-extending the arms forwards, placing the palms down against the mat, and inhale to walk the hands towards the knees. Lifting the hips a little way from the heels so you can tuck all 10 toes, and then sitting back onto the heels, resting the palms against the thighs. In reflexology, the balls of the feet relate to the lungs, so by stretching and opening the balls of the feet in this position, we can equally open and expand the lungs. This position is also fantastic for bringing us into the present moment. For a lot of people, it's fairly uncomfortable to sit with the toes tucked under like this, but the strength of the sensation really anchors us in the present moment, not allowing the mind to drift off into any other direction. So breathing into the balls of the feet, and then creating the lotus mudra by joining together the thumbs and the little fingers and flaring the rest of the fingers wide, and placing this cup shape, this lotus, close to the heart, pressing the thumbs against the breastbone. Soften the shoulders, invite the eyelids to close, and begin to visualize all the blessings, all the positivity, all the love, all the joy you experience in your life pouring into this cup shape in front of your heart, filling up the cup with gratitude. So many blessings, so much love, until it finally overflows, trickling through between the fingers into the heart, now drenching and saturating the heart with gratitude. Releasing the mudra and returning the palms to the mat, tucking all 10 toes underneath, and on an exhalation, lifting the hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. Stepping the feet together so that the inner ankles touch. This time, inhale to float the left leg to the sky, stacking the left hip on top of the right. Even out the shoulders by gently lowering the left shoulder, lifting the right. And then bending the lifted leg, imagining you could tap yourself on the right shoulder with the left toes, opening the hips out to the long side of your mat. Inhale to re-extend the lifted leg, and then exhale to step it forwards, planting it between the hands. Spin the back heel down and check for a heel to instep alignment. This time taking hold of your belt in your right hand and leading with that hand. Inhale the arm forwards, up and back, opening out into Warrior Two on the opposite side. Melting the shoulders down away from the ears. Opening the collarbones out, aligning them with your thigh bones and with the long edges of the mat. Glancing down to see if you can see the instep of your front foot, and if not, tracking that front knee towards the little toe side of the left foot. Gazing over the middle finger of the front hand. On the next inhalation, flip the front palm over. As you exhale, lower the right hand to the right thigh, float the left fingertips up, reverse the warrior, and inhale, returning to Warrior Two. Exhale, lower the left elbow to the left knee. Create a hook with the left fingers and pivot on the left elbow to sweep the left hand towards the left hip. Keeping the buckle end of the belt in your right hand, allow the tail of the belt to fall again behind the body, and then lowering the back of the right hand to the lumbar spine. See if you can make the connection underneath the rib cage but on top of the left thigh. Once again, rolling the top shoulder up and back, exploring the mobility and softening this joint, expanding the heart space, unrolling the belly and the chest skyward. Tucking the left hip underneath the body and pressing firmly into the soles of both feet, keeping the legs strong and engaged. On the next inhalation, return to Warrior Two. And as you exhale, pivot onto the ball of the back foot, windmill the arms down, planting the hands either side of the front foot, placing your belt to one side, and silently inhale the left leg up and back, finding one-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest under the body. Inhale, re-extend the left leg up and back. Exhale, floating forwards to find one-legged plank. And then gripping the back of the right heel with the left big toe and index toe, and rolling to the outer edge of the right foot, the instep edge of the left foot, before inhaling to reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. A gentle squeeze of the obliques lifts the hips a little higher, and as you exhale, return the left palm to the mat, roll back onto the ball of the foot, and unstack the feet, returning to plank pose. On the next exhalation, float the hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. Taking one or two smooth cycles of breath, softening in the hips, softening in the shoulders, and then on an exhalation, walking the hands back towards the feet. So you arrive at the back of your mat. Soften the knees and roll up to stand, bringing the head up last. One circle of the shoulders forwards, up and back, releases any tension. And then inhale to sweep the arms sideways and up, making hooks out of the index and the middle finger. As you exhale, fold forwards over the legs and connect these hooks around the big toes. Inhale to straighten the arms, reach forwards through the crown, bring length into the spine, and exhale to fold. Gazing between the shins, reaching the elbows towards the long edges of your mat, and gently lifting the shoulders up away from the ears, creating length in the back of the neck. Feel the sit bones move away from one another and breathe into any discomfort you may feel in the hamstrings and the lower back. Keeping hold of your right big toe, release your left big toe and bring your left hand to your left hip. Lift the right heel away from the mat, soften the left knee and come to stand slowly, bringing the right foot with you. Choosing a point on the ground of focus, a point of drishti to help with balance, and check that your right arm is on the inside edge of your right knee. Now with your left hand, take it away from your left hip, reach across and take hold of the little toe side of your right foot. Release the bind on the big toe and exhale to extend the right arm towards the back of your mat. Follow your right thumb with your gaze. And once you've found your balance, experiment with extending the right leg, pressing forwards through the right heel. Exhale to sweep the right arm forwards. Maintaining the elevation of the right leg as much as possible, gently release the little toe side of the foot, bring the hands to the hips and confidently step forwards into the centre of the mat. Bringing all of your weight into your right foot and lowering the fingertips to the mat either side of that foot, float the left toes towards the ceiling, standing splits in the centre of the mat. Exhale, lower the left foot to meet the right, soften the knees and roll up to stand. One circle of the shoulders, up, back and down. Inhale to reach the arms sideways and up, making hooks out of the index and the middle finger. Exhale, folding forwards over the legs, connecting the fingers to the big toes. Inhale to lengthen the spine, breathing into the side body. Exhale, soften the torso towards the thighs, gently pulling on the toes, but keeping the shoulders soft by gliding them up away from the ears towards the hips. This time keep hold of the left big toe, release the right big toe, bring the right hand to the right hip. Transfer your weight into the left foot, into the right foot, lift the left heel, soften the right knee and bring your left foot with you as you come to stand. Left arm to the inside edge of the left knee. Take the hand away from the right hip, reach across and take hold of the little toe side of the left foot. Standing firm, confidence in the standing leg, release the left big toe and exhale the left arm back towards the wall behind you. Following your left thumb with your gaze. Start to press the left heel forwards, extending the left leg, coming into a standing twist. Keep breathing. Long, slow, steady cycles of breath. Bring the gaze and the left arm forward slowly. Engaging the core, release the outer edge of the left foot, keeping the elevation in the left leg. Exhale to step forwards to the front of your mat, transferring weight into the left foot and floating the right foot as your fingertips meet the ground. Standing splits now at the front of your mat. Exhale to lower the right foot, soften the knees and inhale to roll to stand. Stacking one vertebra at a time. Soften the shoulders by inhaling them forwards and up. Exhale to melt them back and down. Bring the hands to the hips and take a large right step back, pivoting the right heel to the mat, checking for a heel to instep alignment in preparation again for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, and also placing your block to the inside edge of your front foot and taking your belt in your right hand. Inhale to windmill the arms open, finding Warrior 2. Exhale to sink a little deeper, allowing the shoulders to follow the hips in a downwards motion. Holding the belt close to the buckle, and again allowing the tail to trail behind the body. As you exhale, lower the left elbow to the left knee. Inhale the right arm up. Option to pause here. Keep working on moving your left hip underneath the body, softening the heart space, melting the shoulders open. Second option is to lower your left palm down to your block, using the upper arm, the left upper arm, to guide that front knee open. Third and final option is to take our bind preparation one step further. So exhaling the back of the right hand to the lower back, and this time reaching underneath the left thigh to take hold of the belt, or possibly making the connection between the fingers. Rolling the belly and the chest towards the long edge of your mat. Keeping the back leg strong and active by pressing into the little toe edge of the foot. Inhale to come up to Warrior 2. Exhale, sink a little deeper. And then bring some relief to that front thigh by straightening the leg, peeling the toes away from the mat, curling and flexing the left toes for a moment. Returning the toes to the mat and heel toeing the back foot forwards a little way. Imagining that you're sandwiched between two sheets of glass, allowing you only to move along one plane. Exhale to start reaching forwards. And then lower the left fingertips down to the left leg. They may touch the thigh, they may touch the shin, they may touch the ankle. Floating the right arm up and bringing the gaze up towards the right thumb. Finding Trikonasana here, imagining that there's a wall behind you and you can make a connection between the buttocks and the backs of both shoulder blades. Inhale to float to an upright position. Exhale, pivoting onto the ball of the back foot, windmilling the arms forwards, placing the belt and the block to the right hand side, planting both palms. Inhale, one-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, knee to chest under the body. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees to the mat. Continue to exhale, lower the belly and the chest. Hands move under the shoulders. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Elbows move back and down. Exhale, release. Hands beside the rib cage. Inhale, tabletop. Tucking all 10 toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. One smooth, steady cycle of breath, pressing evenly into the palms and the soles of the feet to lift the hips. On the next inhale, lift the heels. Exhale to bend the knees and then walk or softly hop the feet forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, inviting length into the spine. Exhale to fold, head beneath the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms sideways and up, palms meet. Exhale, hands in prayer in front of the heart. Release the arms to the sides of the body and then bring the heels of the hands to the lower back with the fingers pointing down. Step the feet to about hip width apart and find your variation of a back bend. If you have any issues with the back or the neck, this might be as simple as squeezing the shoulder blades together and gently lifting the chin. If you would like to take it a little deeper, then firm the belly, press the pelvis and the fronts of the thighs forwards, supporting the lower back with the hands and taking a back bend. Inhale to come up, interlace the fingers behind the lower back, and exhale to hinge at the hips and fold forwards, allowing the knuckles to reach towards the front of the mat. Exhale, lowering the knuckles to the lower back, and inhale to float the chest up and release the interlaced fingers. Hands to the hips, take a large left step back, spinning the left heel down, checking for a heel to instep alignment, and now positioning your block to the inside edge of your right foot, taking the belt in your left hand and leading with that hand forwards, up and back, finding warrior two once again. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Resist the temptation for the torso to follow the front fingers forwards. The spine should be perpendicular to the ground. External rotation in both thighs. And on the next exhalation, lowering the right elbow to the right knee, allowing the belt to unravel behind the body, and then inhaling the left arm up, turning the gaze towards the sky. Option to pause here. Second option, lowering the right palm down to the block. Using that right upper arm to gently ease the right knee open. Third and final option, bring the back of the left hand to the lower back. Reach for the bind underneath the right thigh, making the connection either with the belt or with the fingers. And encouraging that right hip to tuck underneath the body by squeezing the outer edge of the right thigh with the belt or the fingers. Slow, steady cycles of breath. And on the next inhalation, floating back up to warrior two. Exhale, sink a little deeper. And then relieving the right thigh by straightening the front leg, peeling the toes away from the mat, curling and flexing them before replacing them back down, and heel toeing the back foot a little further forwards, maintaining the heel to toe instep alignment. Exhale, start to reach forwards, lowering the right fingertips down to the right leg and floating the left fingertips up, tucking the right hip underneath the body whilst maintaining length in the right ribs. Imagining making connection between the imaginary wall behind you. Listening to the breath, allowing the breath to guide you and ease you into the pose. Inhale, floating back up to a standing position. Exhale, pivoting onto the ball of the back foot, windmilling both arms forwards, placing the block and the belt to one side. Plant the palms either side of the right foot. Inhale, shooting the right leg up and back, one-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to chest under the body. Inhale, re-extend the leg. And then lower it down next to the left. Pressing into the palms to lift the crown of the head a little further away from the mat, engaging the shoulders. And imagining that you could move the hips maybe just a millimetre higher and a millimetre closer towards the wall behind you. On the next inhalation, lift the heels high, look towards the thumbs, and then gently hop the feet into the centre of the mat, finding a seated position, and then extending the legs forwards. Both feet are flexed. Rock from side to side to remove the flesh from under the sit bones, and then bending the right leg. Allow the right knee to fall out to the side, and either placing the sole of the right foot against the left inner thigh, or if it's available to you, lifting the right foot up and placing it on top of the left thigh. Either way, taking your belt and looping the centre of it around your right foot, allowing the belt to trail alongside your left hip. Bring the right hand behind you, place tented fingertips on the mat behind your tailbone, then inhale to reach the left fingertips up. Exhale, taking a twist, bringing left palm to right knee. Keep both shoulders soft as you inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to soften the belly and twist a little deeper. Feel deeply into that sensation of weight against the left upper thigh, whether that's created by the right foot or just the belt. We'll be using and returning to this sensation in a few moments. One last breath, exhaling to your fullest twist, and inhale, lifting the left arm, coming through centre. Exhale to bring the left arm down. Release the belt from the foot and easing the right knee up. Interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, and on an exhalation, vertebra by vertebra, placing your spine down onto the ground. Returning to that sensation of pressure and weight against the left upper thigh, and now placing your left hand where you felt that sensation. Pressing firmly down, so pinning your left side of your body against the ground. Now release the hand from the back of the right thigh and bind either with your big toe using the index and middle finger. If you know that your hamstrings are slightly tighter, option to use a belt around the ball of the foot, simply holding the belt with the right hand. Inhale to extend the right leg as straight as possible, and exhale to gently start to soften it towards the body. Keeping both shoulders relaxed, keeping your left leg also gently active by flexing the foot. And on the next exhalation, press more firmly into your left hand against your left thigh as you ease the right leg out to the side. Try not to allow the left buttock to peel away from the mat. On the next inhalation, easing the right leg back through centre. Softening the right knee. And then taking the left hand away from the left thigh and reaching across to take hold of the little toe side of the right foot. Extend the right arm out to the side and inhale, start to press into the right heel, aiming to straighten the leg as much as possible. And now ease the right leg towards the left-hand side of your mat. Feeling a deep stretch in the IT band, in the outer edge of the right thigh. Finding comfort within the discomfort. Reminding yourself that there's a third option aside from fight or flight. You can simply be present, fully experience a sensation rather than running away from it or fighting against it. Easing the right leg back through centre, bending the left leg and planting the sole of the foot close to the sit bones. Now guiding the right ankle on top of the left knee, extending the left arm out to the side, and then sliding the right heel towards the ground, fully crossing the legs. Exhale to roll both knees to the left and bring the gaze to the right. Breathing into the whole length of the spine. Enjoying this deep twist all the way from the base of the tailbone up to the crown of the head. To protect the lower back, bring the knees up towards the chest before rolling through centre, and then uncrossing the legs, planting the soles of the feet against the ground, knees bent, heels close to the sit bones. Extend the arms now beside the body, palms face down. Check that the toes are a little closer than the heels before pressing firmly into the soles of the feet and inhaling to lift the hips high. Option to interlace the fingers underneath the body, extending the arms straight, pressing into the little fingers, using the arms as levers so you can lift the hips a little higher, squeezing the knees towards the midline of the body, keeping the head central and watching a gentle rise and fall of the belly and the chest with the breath. Uninterlace the fingers and exhale to lower the hips down, stepping the feet to the width of the mat and allow the knees to fall in gently towards one another. Now also joining the ankles, bring the hands to the backs of the thighs and start to rock and roll along the length of the spine, bringing yourself up to a seated position, extending both legs, flexing the feet. Bend just the left knee, allowing the left knee to fall out to the side and placing either the sole of the left foot against the right inner thigh or lifting the left foot and placing it on top of the right thigh. Either way, looping the belt around the left foot and trailing the length of the belt beside the right hip. Bring the left fingertips to the mat behind the tailbone. Inhale the right arm up to the sky and exhale the right palm to the left knee. Inhale to lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale to twist a little deeper, softening the belly, allowing the shoulders to move independently from the hips. Once again, making that mental imprint of the weight and the pressure of the left foot against the right upper thigh, or perhaps the belt against the right upper thigh. On the next inhalation, gently unwinding, lifting the right arm up, and then exhale to lower the right fingertips to the mat. Release the belt from around the left foot. Ease the left knee up through centre and interlace the fingers at the back of the left thigh. Exhale, placing one vertebra at a time onto the mat, pressing through the left heel to use that leg as a counterweight to support you in lying down. Remembering that point of pressure at the top of the right thigh and placing the right hand in the same place, replacing that pressure. Making the bind with the left big toe and the index and the middle finger of the left hand or the belt before inhaling to extend the left leg. Exhale to soften, move into the space that the breath has created. Now pressing even more firmly through the right palm into the right thigh to pin the right hand side of the body down to the mat. Exhale to open the left leg out to the left hand side. Inhale to bring the left leg back through centre. Soften the left knee and at the same time bending the right knee to plant the sole of the right foot on the ground close to the sit bones. Extend the right arm out to the right hand side and then place the left ankle on top of the right knee, extending now the left arm out in a T shape, Slide the left heel down towards the ground, fully crossing the legs, and roll both knees to the right, turning the gaze towards your left palm. Just falling gently into the embrace of gravity. Allowing the breath to ebb and flow in and out of the body with ease. On the next inhalation, draw the knees up towards the chest, protecting the lower back to roll through centre, uncrossing the legs, planting the soles of both feet on the ground close to the sit bones. Returning for a second round of Setu Bandhasana, bringing the arms beside the body, palms face down, heels a little wider than the toes, pressing firmly into the soles of the feet to inhale the hips up towards the sky. Option to interlace the fingers under the body, straightening the arms, squeezing the knees towards one another. Witnessing the rise and fall of the belly and the chest with the breath. And on an exhalation, uninterlacing the fingers and lowering the hips down to the mat. Fully releasing the back now by drawing both knees into the chest. Seeing if you can keep the lower back in contact with the mat as you rock from side to side, massaging the muscles either side of the spine. One at a time, extending the legs along the mat, moving towards Shavasana, allowing the feet to fall naturally out to the sides, placing the arms beside the body but not touching the body, palms facing up. Inviting the eyelids to close, letting go of any breathing techniques, returning to natural breath. Enjoying the sensation of the weight of the body against the mat. Imagining a small, warm, white light igniting within your heart. And that with each breath, this warm white light starts to spread through the network of nerves, this network of fascia that connects the whole body. This warm white light trickling through every cell, saturating every tendon, every ligament, every muscle. The whole body now flooded with warm, white, healing light. Witnessing and experiencing the interconnectedness of every single part of your body. Witnessing and experiencing the interconnectedness of every single living being on the planet. Option to remain in Shavasana for as long as you like, otherwise beginning to wriggle the fingers and toes, taking one or two slightly deeper breaths, joining the ankles together and reaching the arms overhead, giving yourself a deep full body stretch. One at a time, drawing the knees into the chest, squeezing them towards you, giving yourself a hug, rocking from side to side. And when you're ready, rolling to the right hand side, remaining in the fetal position for a few moments. Inhaling a sense of deep gratitude and exhaling any fear. Extend the left leg, use the left arm to press yourself up to sit. The eyes can remain closed, joining the palms in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. And sealing in the benefits of today's practice with one heartfelt resounding Om. If we exhale together, take a deep inhalation. Om. place both palms on the ground in front of you, lowering the forehead towards the earth and connecting with something far greater than ourselves. Inhale to come to sit, joining the hands in prayer in front of the heart, sending love and gratitude to the body, especially the immune system, working tirelessly and relentlessly to keep us safe and protected from infection and disease. Raising the hands in prayer to the third eye, sending love and gratitude to the mind. Raising the hands in prayer overhead, sending love and gratitude to the divine. And returning the hands in prayer in front of the heart. The light in me recognises and honours the light in you. Namaste.